Hi again, and this is the 1 year special, and I'm basically going to be remaking my first ever video and continuing the series where I redraw this artwork every single year. I just did a sketch off camera and lined it, and I think it looks alright. I'm not a huge fan of the face, but I think the pose and the background looks pretty good. And I also tried to use the exact same colours, but most of them ran out that I originally used. Anyway, I didn't exactly use the specific markers because they obviously ran out after 2 years. So I did use some substitutes that I have, which are practically the same colours, so it doesn't even really matter. But I do think the end result does look pretty nice. I just wish I spent a little bit more time on the background just to make it look a bit nicer, you know. So yeah. Also, if you haven't already noticed, I'm trying to make this OC called Holly age every single time I redraw her, so practically she's aging with me as when I first drew her when I was about 11. Obviously I wasn't that good, but I did try and make her look my age back then, and she was pretty much based off me. I kind of drew myself and just gave myself Christmas clothes and then called it, oh look, a new OC, how smart of me, wow. Anyways, for the stripe, I did not have the right colour at all. I don't think it is the right colour at all. It looks more olive than a forest green, I'd say. I just couldn't find the marker, so this had to do. So I don't know if it looks better or worse. I think it makes it look worse, but oh well. Also, you might think that I changed the background from the original, and no, I did not. I basically drew the back of the room, as the original drawing had the back of the TV displayed, if that makes sense, and the Christmas tree to the right of it, and I basically just flipped the camera sort of view. So how smart of me is that? I'm just kidding. Anyways, honestly, I thought it was very difficult to draw the bunny sort of slippers because I didn't do any sketch of what I wanted them to look like, so they do look pretty messy, and I'm not a huge fan of how they turn out. Also, I do have to say that I am really proud of how the hair turned out, as I think the shading looks really soft and pastel, and I'm pretty happy with the ombre I did, as last year it was pretty messy and it wasn't at all blended, and it was just not it, but at least it was bad, so it makes this year's look better. Anyways, I hope it does look better. And I also decided to make the wall this sort of cream colour instead of a white, because a white seems way too plain for me, and I thought the cream might make it look a bit more homelier, if you know what I mean. So yeah. I also originally wanted to make this into a live, as to make it even more special, but to be honest, I can't really do lives because I do not have my own device to film with or to do it with. So in case, let's say, someone calls this owner's device, then obviously it will be interrupted, and if you know what I mean. So maybe one day in the future for another special, maybe 2 year special, or I don't know, or maybe a milestone, I don't know. But I was kind of disappointed I couldn't do a live, but at the same time I could always save it for something actually special. Also, for the painting in this drawing, I did not use a reference because, let's say, all the devices I had in my house were all occupied, so I had to draw it straight from memory, and I honestly think it turned out alright, considering that I didn't use a reference and I did this straight from my imagination. But apart from that, I do think it really adds to this piece, but I think it would have looked better if it was like a Christmas sort of theme to make it more fitting with the rest of the drawing. Also, since this is a 1-year special, I do have to say thank you for how much I've grown this year. It honestly means so much to me, and it's honestly crazy because I remember hitting about 20 subs and I was literally over the moon, and I was just running to my parents and I was like, oh my gosh, I hit 20, and they were like, wow, congrats. So that's going to be a really nice memory, and it's honestly so heartwarming by how much I've grown, and I would want to say thank you so much for everyone who watches my videos. I really appreciate it a lot. Also, if I were to do a live, what time would that be? I also do think I improved a lot on drawing trees, as the first one was not that good, let's say, and I do think it actually looks like a Christmas tree for once. And honestly, I had a really hard time picking what marker, as you obviously saw how many times I kept layering with different shades of green. So yeah, I also just realised I should have worn the same sweater as I originally did in my first ever video, and sorry if you can hear my little brother laughing in the back. He's just watching something and he's finding it hilarious. I also did use a thick black liner to make everything stand out a bit more, as I did use this sort of dark red liner and it made everything kind of duller, if that makes sense. So I just used the black to make everything pop out. And honestly, this drawing took surprisingly only a bit. Like, it took around half an hour, I think, which is honestly really fast, since I normally take about 1 hour on average. Let's say for a drawing layer of C's, I spend 2 hours on it, but this one with a background only took half an hour, which is honestly really shocking. So boom, mind blown. For the floor, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do a dark brown or a light one, but I decided to go with a light one, but I kind of regret it. I wish I went for a dark one. I think it would make it look even more homely, if that's weird, and I do think it looks alright the way it is, but I do think it would have made the drawing stand out a bit more if it was a dark colour. And I also have to say that I'm really happy with the pose, as I did not use a reference, and I don't know why I do, I just don't. And honestly, it looks pretty good. I do think that the head should be smaller if it was to be more realistic, but overall I think it looks really good. I also chose to do the Christmas hat last, as it was supposed to be like the pinpoint of the drawing since it was Christmas themed, and I also drew the original one on Christmas Day, and honestly I think it was a good decision because it made me more encouraged to finish the background to get on to actually finishing the drawing. So yeah. And now I'm just adding some white pen details, and I think it makes the drawing pop out even more, and I think it just completely finishes it. And I also decided to add some sparkles to the tree to make it look a bit more aesthetically pleasing. Anyways, I want to say thank you again for this amazing year on YouTube. I honestly really love it, and sorry for this video coming out so late. I had a lot of time editing, and so yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and bye.